And so another thing with the soldiers that the women did was they set absentee ballots to them. They also did this for sailors. And I'm sure you all know, but it's just so you're registered in your county to vote, but if you're not in your county, and you can't reach your polling place during the time, when you are able to vote, you can get these ballots so that you can still vote when you're not, in your home. And so then on November 6th, 1917, New York State granted women the right to vote, and they became the 14th state in the United States to do this. Um, and in the book, it says the suffrage ran into the New York City suffrage headquarters and yelled, "The Times had just flashed a white light showing suffrage had carried the state." Um, and New York City and the surrounding area carried the vote by 53%. And this is kind of just interesting, but Rochester, Utica, and Albany did not actually pass the vote, but all the places around them in the New York City so strongly voted yes that it outweighed that. But it's kind of ironic. Rochester, women's suffrage kind of started there, and they didn't even pass the vote in New York State. But it did go through, and November 6th, we got the right in New York State. And so lastly, just my questions. What changes do you think made the biggest difference between 1915 and 1917 campaign? Because the women were close then, but they didn't quite make it. So what do you think made the biggest impact? My second question is, how do you believe the history of women's suffrage would change if the referendum was not passed in 1917? New York State was a big state to win, and it really helped on the federal level. So what changes do you think would have happened? And my third question is there any woman mentioned in this chapter that you've never heard before? Do you believe this win could have been done without them? And if you had heard about all the women before, still, like, what were their impacts? Like, how would it be without them? Thank you for listening. Bye.